Them Damn Mexicans presents TDM Talk.
What's up, everybody, man? Thank you guys for tuning in to another edition of TDM Talk. Shout out to On It Brewery Podcast for having us and welcoming us into their home and letting us record our episodes here. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Most importantly, get that notification bell so you can get all the notifications because our content is the shit. Today we have a very special guest. If you can't tell, I'm actually wearing her shirt right now. This is the only time I've done this, so
yes.
See who that is? All the way from DC, all the way from DC to the H. Y'all welcome the lovely and talented Anna Mays. The effects will be in there, man. So, you know, we don't have a live crowd to be like, yeah. We should, though. I think that would be pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, live audience, right? So how you doing? How's it going?
It's going really, really well, honestly. It's going better than ever, to be honest. I've been spending a little bit more time back home in DC.
Yeah.
I definitely miss the city life. I miss the noise. I miss the ratchetivities, you know?
Ratchetivities. I like that.
Man, I miss being back here too. So I'm glad to be back, you know, doing a little run or whatever. But now here with Super P, he's been doing like a workshop with Athena, you know, taking pictures of, you know, girls, like they're getting their makeup done, hair done. It's beautiful.
Shout out to
really
Athena.
Excited. Yeah.
Sorry I missed the event last night. We were just actually talking about that not that long ago with Mvze. You know, so that was cool. Mm. So we got to hang out on, I keep wanting to say Friday, but it was Thursday.
It was Thursday.
That's just how many drinks I've had that day. You know, kind of like, I didn't know what day. It's like, it's a Thursday, but we're partying like it's Friday. It was fun, man. It was. I'm glad I was able to come out to, what was it, Texas Snowbirds?
Texas Snowbirds out
on the porch. Shout out to them. Shout out to the DJ who was hilarious.
Amazing.
That guy there was on another, what's his name?
I don't even remember his name.
That guy was on another level. Fade. Yeah, whatever. But shout out to him. Shout out to everybody that was out there. We had a great time. So this trip down in Houston, I know when I think I saw that you were coming down, I was like, oh, we got to lock in the interview. And you were like, yeah, let's do it. So what brings you down this time around? Is it you're kind of like a little promo run?
Yeah, definitely. Just kind of like, because it's been months since I've been here, you know, so I definitely wanted to come back, and I'm about to start doing a lot more shows, a lot more traveling, so it's like this is a second home for me. Okay. So I just wanted, you know, to touch base with everybody, start promoting. P's out here doing some workshops too, so we're just grinding, really.
That's it. You know what, when you're able to travel and work and have fun at the same time, it's like, why not? I mean, that's the way it should be, especially when we're doing what we do. I loved all the traveling we did. It was fun. We got to document it. You know, we got our little recaps of the trips and some funny stories from each trip, actually, that we can, I'm sure, go on days about. So we you know, it's been, like you said, some months since you've been back down here. But I think, and going by the TikToks that I've seen and everything that I've been watching, if you haven't followed her on TikTok, man, the content is off the chain. Like, a lot of motivation, a lot of just realness. That's what I like to call it. I don't like to categorize it other than just some real shit, because like the things you talk about is not just women that relates to. Like, I'm sitting there like, yes, girl, you tell them. You know, like, I know that's right, because I'll be commenting on YouTube, and I don't know if I comment that much on the TikTok, but I know on the YouTube I'm always like seeing the what do they call them on YouTube? The shorts, yeah. I know they all call them something different, shorts, reels, stories, whatever. What's the motivation behind that? I know a little bit about the story, but I want you to kind of tell more or less what a lot of that has to do with that.
Well, it all started a little over 2 years ago. I came out of an abusive relationship, and one day I was just in, you know, a parking lot in the car, and I made a video, like using my cell phone, kind of like just giving myself encouraging words, you know, and I've never been a TikToker before that. I've had one, but, you know, I ended up posting it and it went viral, you know, And it was very healing for me too, you know, just because when I went through that, I didn't really tell anybody. I didn't seek therapy right away. I didn't go to support groups. So to be able to share my story, you know, with others that relate, it made me feel less alone, like I wasn't crazy, you know. So I just kept doing it, and seeing how doing that, it helped so many other people as well. You know, it was definitely a blessing in disguise, I guess, you know. And now we're kind of just taking up that content to a different level with higher quality. You know, I'm shooting with P a lot more and doing those, you know, because at the end of the day, it's a movement, and I do stand for something that's real. You know, there's a time and place for everything. It's a time for the turn up, and I'm all for it. But at the end of the day, majority of us, you know, we step into the club going through it, you know, and we're just kind of like disguising it with drinks and drugs and music.
A lot of the times that entertainment is an escape for whatever reality we're actually in. And I could tell how the people react and respond to your content, because I see the comments. I'm just like, girl, I was in the same boat and this and that, and we don't realize that how our stories can help. You know, some people may call it a testimony, whatever, but whatever it is, when we can help other people, I think that's so important, because that just shows that we're not selfish with with our story. Exactly. And I always say, like, look, if I can always help somebody else, whether it's through experience, you know, by teaching the younger generation, I always, like, you know, I was having that discussion earlier, like with my son. I was like, he's about to be 20, right? When I was 20, I was way worse shape than he, you know, like I was just out there just wilding, and he's in a way better position, but because I can kind of guide him, like, bro, you can kind of do something different.
Exactly.
But anyway, go on.
Yeah. Definitely just like basing off that, like kind of breaking those generational curses too, you know, because I've seen abuse growing up, you know, toxic relationships. It became a trend, you know. And so when I was in it, I was like, I didn't know necessarily what I was going through, you know. And if it wasn't for this Netflix show that came out called Made, it made me realize that what I was going through wasn't okay. Like, you know, because they definitely gaslight you and make you believe that, like, you're supposed to, this is love, you know, you got to put up with this, you know, things like that. So in seeing how May definitely like pushed me to leave, you know, me releasing music and the song Don't Forget to Mention, and then even my TikToks to help others do the same as well, or to just educate those that have never been in that, so that way if they ever do come across something like that, they know the signs to look out for. Now,
you mentioned the song Don't Forget to Mention. Is that the video with it was like a movie? Yeah. I man, that touched me. Like, I remember watching it and I was like, yo, this is just some real I don't even know how to really describe it other than it was just real. And although I've never been in that situation, I sympathize with it, empathize with the whole thing. Like, just even the acting. I mean, you did your thing in it, and all the people in there. But it tells a very compelling story to me, because it's something that needs to be talked about, I think, because it happens more than we actually realize, or the more that we like to talk about or discuss. That's why, we can sit here and talk about the music and whatever, and that's cool, because you use the music to channel your thoughts and your feelings through it. So I can imagine that the video probably was hard for you to kind of, get through that. Like I said, it's tough, because I have 5 sisters. You know, I don't have any brothers. I have 5 sisters and a lot of friends, female friends, and I hear that they go through that a lot. Sometimes they don't think that it's easy, because I saw where people say, "Why didn't you just leave?" And I heard you the other day. You're like, "It's not that easy."
It's really not.
And it sounds easy though, right? It's easier to give the advice than it is to actually take it, because when you're not in that situation, it's easy to say what you would do.
Yeah. Cause same, like, my entire life could never be me.
Yeah.
Oh fuck no.
Yeah.
And then I was in it, and I was just like, damn.
Yeah.
It was hard. Like, even when I did leave, to go no contact, it took me like 6 months to finally go no contact and block the person and not answer anything. It's a mind fuck.
Yeah, I can imagine, because to just be able to cut someone off, it's hard. I know that just from, any kind of standpoint, but especially when you have something like someone where you dated someone or you spent so much time, it's not as easy just to cold turkey be like, yeah, I'm done. So you were already doing music when this was going on, right? So let's backtrack a little bit to like the music, like before all this happened, like how long have you been doing the music thing?
I've been doing music my entire life, honestly, it feels like. But I would say I took it serious probably like 7-ish years ago.
7 years ago, okay. I did see videos of like a long time ago. Of you like performing at different cause see what I like to do is like if I like a certain artist, like I like their music, I'm gonna go and watch everything.
That's good.
And I saw one video, I think it was in DC. I mean it seemed like thousands of people in the crowd. You did like some Spanish. I don't remember what exactly.
Was it opening for Bad Bunny?
Yes, that's what it was. I was about to say it was something with Bad Bunny, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But I was like, you had the crowd like in the palm of your hands, like they really was rocking with you, and I was like, this is really like a star, like a superstar. That I like to, I say that, but I to me that's what I see, because when I see that, man, that's incredible. There's not many people that can have that many people rocking with them, with the music, and so I'm just really impressed, and I just wanted to give you your flowers as far as musically wise. I know I haven't known you long, but as far as music wise, I from the singing to the rapping, you're hella talented.
Thank you. That means a lot, honestly.
You're welcome. So what initially brought you to Texas?
Well, so years ago, I used to be out here in Houston, when I first started. I used to be signed to an independent label out here called Street Science Entertainment.
Okay, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. And they would have me out here. I would do a bunch of videos. I would perform and stuff. So I kind of was already familiar with Houston. And one thing that stood out to me was the amount of love that they show.
Yeah.
And also just so many things going on. In DC, DC is small, and there's not a lot of major opportunities, for artists to really shine, in music and stuff like that. It's still developing. And just overall, just in releasing music over the past years, I've noticed that majority of my fan base is in that Southwest region.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, well, let me go, and stay out there for like a year and see what it's like. Test it out, and it's just I had so much more going on out here than back home.
Like I know I get that a lot from people like from Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. They all say the same thing. They're like, we need to go to Houston. Houston is, to them is where it's at. And it's funny because we're like, we need to get out there. We're like, we got to get out of Houston because we feel like a lot of times, being in your own hometown it can get tiring because it's usually the same people doing the same events and it usually doesn't generate into much. But as an artist, you want to be able to get out of town. You want to be able to go to another state, another town, and be popping and be like,
exactly.
So we're glad. I know I'm glad that I was able to, run across you because I would never had known about that. But like I said, I really rock with the music. And then after meeting you, I was like, oh yeah, I mean, you're just such a cool person and. You don't get that a lot with, because I meet just about everybody as far as artist-wise, and some people, it's two different stories, and it's just like, damn, like, I was really disappointed by meeting so-and-so or getting to know someone. And you know how it is. This industry is just really, I guess I could just say fake for the most part. A lot of fakeness, you know.
A lot of smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, that's. I've heard that phrase so much, and it's starting to get worse, it seems, and I think social media plays a part in that because they get, I think, a thing on some kind of following or all this attention on social media, but it doesn't really mean much.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually.
Yeah. So, like, did you ever sing in the church?
In the church, no.
No. So the reason I ask, because a lot of people that sing, they normally say they started. I started singing in the church. I was in the church choir singing Christmas carols or whatever. I did it, and I can't sing, but they threw me up there for some reason. Like, man, we just needed people. So, like, man, you go ahead and go up there. I'm like, okay. I'm singing my little heart out, thinking I could sing. Like, oh, you doing good, son? You know, like,
oh, that's so cute.
Like, I'm Coming to America when Sexual Chocolate was singing. They're like, what is that boy doing?
That boy is good. Mm-hmm. Good and terrible.
No, he's not. He's terrible.
That's
shout out to my mom. You know, she always cheered me on.
That's cute.
So the thought process behind the music. Mm-hmm. Where do you gather inspiration from?
My life, really, the things that I go through. I can't write stuff that I don't experience. Like
if someone asks you to do a certain type of song that you've never experienced, would that be hard for you to do? I'd be able to do it.
But like if somebody else were to write for me, I'm very picky if that were to be the case. I would still have to either be a part of the co-writing. Or just if I like it, I just have to relate to it really. Oh, okay, it can't be something that is just I don't really do.
Yeah, just out the blues type of content.
Yeah, I can't fake that. Like I really can't.
And it, excuse me, it shows in the music though, because whenever I hear it, I can tell it's authentic. It's not like, and I always talk about it. I'm probably gonna say this in every interview, but like one of my favorite artists is Tupac all time because I felt what he was saying, you know, and I generally tend to navigate towards or gravitate towards artists like that.
Yeah.
where they rap or they sing about what they went through because most of us, I consider myself like the general public. I'm just an everyday fan. Like I listen to music the way the normal casual fan would. I'm not the guy that's like, oh man, I think the sound ain't that good, or maybe they could have said this way. Or like, man, I don't care. Look, if it's jamming, it's just jamming. So I could really just, care less. But I noticed in the last year, I guess, or so, I want to say it's probably been about a year that we've kind of, since we met or at least known about each other, that the music that I saw that you put out, you released a lot of singles with a lot of people, from Cap G to, you got the song with Tillo.
Oh, yeah.
Man, shout out to Tillo, the old QPM guys, man. Those guys are off the chain, man. They're always a good vibe, a good energy.
Definitely.
Oh my God, I forgot. How am I forget? I'm having like the song that
Close to You?
Close to You. Oh my God, and I just talked about
You
that.
did.
Oh man, y'all forgive me. Look, I'm having a brain fart or whatever you want to call it. So is that the last song you just dropped?
Yeah, that was my last single that I just dropped.
I know when that came out, I remember listening to it and I was like, yo, this is jamming. But I said it about all your music, so it's like it's kind of tough to. I'm biased, I guess. Like #1 fan. Woo. See, I'm wearing the shirt, so let me get the tattoo next. No, I'm like, nah. Any projects coming out next that you can talk about?
Well, I am definitely working on an EP at the moment. But I am gonna start releasing a couple of singles, probably like end of August, more towards the fall season is when I'm gonna really start dropping music videos and things like that. So yeah, I'm just stacking up. I'm recording. This is the preparing season.
Yeah. So. Just kind of getting back into the groove of things, right?
Yeah.
Because when you take some time off, you gotta kind of like work your way back.
Yeah.
I always say slowly, just kind of steady, and be consistent with your work.
Exactly.
Because consistency, I think, is a big part in what we do. Especially for artists. Because I tell artists all the time, like, look, man, if you go away for a certain amount of time, most people forget about you. Especially if you don't drop anything. People damn, I forgot about so-and-so. I don't know what happened to. So consistency is key. And, you've been on the TikTok pretty heavy, so you ain't really gone nowhere because we see it.
I haven't at all. So I'm excited. And it's crazy. So that song, Close to You, I actually wrote that like 3 years ago.
Really? It's crazy how artists will say that. Like, oh, well, like this new song that I got, that's actually old. Like I did that a couple years ago, whatever. I'm like, but it sounds fresh. Like it's something that's relatable. That's just you can listen to and just jam. It's just a vibe. It's just a good little melody tempo too. I don't even know what to call it because y'all don't get mad at me. I'm like, man, he's saying the wrong words. Like, man, look, I don't know, right? To me, that's what it is. Damn it, don't get mad at me. So let's talk about one of the producers that you work with, Mark Henry, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How did that come about?
I met him. So I used to go by a different name.
What was it? Can you tell us? Or you don't want to tell us?
I guess I can because everybody in the interview apparently always brings it up. I used to go by A.O. Smiley. This was back when I used to be signed to Street Science Entertainment.
Okay. I was going to ask you that earlier when you said you were signed. I was like, wait, were you under the same name?
No, I was not. That's the reason why I changed it, though, because after I left, I kind of just wanted to, do my own thing and just not be a part of that, like the past anymore. So I met him around the time where I was back in D.C., and we met through a mutual friend. He was like a DJ back home. And at that time, he was putting together a mixtape with just DMV artists. Yeah. And Mark was going to be one of the producers on it. And so I did a couple of songs. Mark heard it. He was like, oh, who's that? And, he linked the both of us. And ever since, we've been working.
I knew about him from stuff he did for Fabulous.
Yes.
So I was already like a fan. So when I heard the name, I was like, wait, is it the same one that worked with Fabulous? So I had to go and look it up or something. I don't know. I don't remember how I did. And I was like, oh damn. I thought that was dope because I always liked his production. Mvze Sound. What is that?
Mvze Sound is my label.
Okay.
It's still in the little baby stages, but I've had it for a couple of years now. And I've had artists over the years. The first artist that we had, he goes by the name of Chris Palace. Okay. He is now signed to Raul Alejandro.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's pretty fucking
cool.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and right now we have a new artist. He does corridos and stuff. His name is Jay Pacas.
Yes.
So he's definitely gearing up to release too.
I saw that. He followed me and I always, when someone follows me, I always do my research. Like, who is this? What does he want? Who are you with? I gotta make sure. Like, are you? Because it's a lot of bullshit artists out there, and I'm like, I don't. And then I saw the Mvze Sound in his bio, and I was like, okay, click.
Yeah.
It was and I heard the music. I was like, okay, it's different, but it's what's hot right now. It's kind of on the Spanish side, Yeah. I was really impressed by it. So. Are you looking to sign any more people, or what? Or is it?
At the moment, I would say no.
Okay.
Because.
Damn. I was about to slide my demo to hey, don't listen to this.
At the moment, no. I think we're good right now. Because we're still a very small team. And I'm also very, very picky because it's hard finding artists nowadays that put in that work. Yeah. A lot of artists aren't necessarily consistent, especially with social media or just even with themselves, And
you don't want to have to babysit anybody.
Exactly.
And be telling them, hey, when are you gonna put out, or when are you gonna record? Yeah. When are you gonna do? That's the least of your worries, especially with you being an artist and the person that's running the label. Yeah. You want someone that's self-motivated, you ain't gotta tell them. I can just. Damn, you already recorded this many songs?
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely have a high standard just because for myself, I'm very self-sufficient. Yeah. I do a lot of things on my own, I record myself. So, oh, wow. So for me, it's kind of it's no excuses. You got to figure it out, So I have to find artists that match that kind of drive as well.
If I can do this myself, then I know anybody can. You just got to want to.
Exactly. Yeah. When there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. Who were some of your influences growing up?
I listened to everything, to be honest. I mean, a lot of the stuff that my parents listened to was Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, my brother Biggie, Pac, But for me, what influenced me the most was TLC.
TLC.
Yeah.
Okay. I did notice on I know the one with Tillo, there was some TLC in that. Yeah. And it was It's something else that I know I heard that I can't remember what it was. And then I know you have a shirt that has the no scrub or whatever thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for the streets.
Yeah, for the streets. Yeah. So I was like, okay, she's a TLC. Which one was your favorite?
Left Eye.
Left Eye.
Left Eye.
For sure. R.I.P. man. For real. That's a very influential group. You know, you talked about Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston. You know, like I'm probably older than everybody here. But when you said that, I remember having the vinyl album of Thriller.
We had that too.
You know.
Yeah.
And I was, I know I was like in elementary. I don't know how old I was, but I was in elementary when we had that. And music in the late 80s and the 90s, I think was probably some of the best music ever because you had everything from Michael Jackson, you had Nirvana, you had, you know, like you said, Biggie, Pac, even before them. I know here in Houston we had Scarface, Ghetto Boys. We grew up on NWA, Ice Cube, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like, and even with the rock, Metallica, like I think every genre of music was like really so dope, even reggae. I used to actually work in a record store, right? And we sold like CDs and we even had, you know, cassette tapes. Like what's that? Google it. But I learned a lot of love from music because I was really just like a hip hop head. Like I was I didn't want to listen to nothing but rap and ignorant rap at that. Like, you know, so to be able to be exposed to different music is such a blessing because to me, it expands your horizons. Yeah. As far as a person, you get to listen to something other than what's your environment. You get to see the outside perspective. So we go back to the music you make, how it relates to your life. And then that's not just you. It's probably millions of women that are going through that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Some of those same things. That's why I think that your following is so big, or is getting. I know you just congrats on the 1 million on TikTok.
2 million.
2 million. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Don't give me that 2 mil on there. Okay. On the edit, we'll put the 2 million. Cha-ching. Yeah, she's showing out over here. Oh, excuse me, that's not 1, it's 2 million. And you're right, I did see that the other day. I was like, oh, she got another one, okay. Look, I'm just trying to get to 1,000 followers or whatever it's called. I'm stuck, but I don't know how to TikTok or I don't do. I just post whatever you see on Instagram is the same thing. But I think that you have an amazing story. And I say amazing because what you went through, I think, made you who you are, and you know, has strong. Not that you chose, not that you said, "Oh, well, this, I need this so I can be this." No,
right? Yeah.
But you in return can take that and tell your side of the story now.
Yeah. With
the visuals, with the music, even with the small videos that I see on TikTok, the little messages, you know, I really do be watching them and be like, yo, she really's dropped. I be thinking they're lyrics to a song or something, but it's just really you talking like, hey, you know, I wish I could remember some of them, but we might have to pull some of them up. So if you had to pick out of your catalog, favorite song.
I don't have favorites for anything. I'm a Pisces. It depends on my mood.
It just depends on your mood.
Let's see.
I'm not a Pisces, but I agree with that because whenever they ask me my favorite as far as like music, it's hard because I love everything just about.
Yeah, I love them in different ways. They're like all my babies.
Yeah, I think each song probably has like their own. Yeah. You know. Okay, well, let me ask you this then. Out of all your songs, which one was like the funniest? That has the funniest story to it.
The funniest story.
Whether it was the recording, the studio session, whether it was a video or just.
The funniest story, I would say. That's a good question. I want to say it's Demons just because of how like my process was for that. Yeah. It was like so the lyric goes like, I get real transparent off tequila, right? And I remember one night I was chilling with one of my homies and I was just like venting and I was like, I was drinking tequila, and I was like crying a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I get real transparent off tequila. And I was like, that sounds fire. And I literally took my phone out and I wrote it down. And then I went to the studio, I believe, like 2 days later. And Mark had a beat for me, and it was the Shook Ones sample. It was a flip.
Okay.
And the first thing that came out was I get real transparent off tequila, and it was a wrap from there. But I love that so much because it really happens all the time. Like, even like when I'm around him recently, it'll just be things that he says or like things that we do, and I'm just like, that's a bar. I'm gonna write that down, you know. So
write it down, make a little like, okay, I can. I sent my boy Chop the Father a message the other day, and he goes, yo, there's a bar in that. And I was like, give me credit, damn it. Give me credit. Put me in the credits. Give me my little cut. Nah. But it's true, though. Like, a lot of things that we say can really turn into something different, you know, when you sit back and actually think about it.
Yeah. And that's really how, like, my writing is. It's like I'm talking to something or to someone, you know?
Okay.
So it's like having these regular conversations. Like you said, when you watch my TikToks, you be thinking they're lyrics. And that's really how, like, I format my songs, as if I'm having a conversation with somebody. So
I like that. I like that. I think that's the way it should be, because the music speaks to people, you know. Like, when people listen to it, they're listening to the words. At least for the most part, you would think they were.
Yeah.
So what you say is important, because you really could get up there and say a bunch of crap and it ain't gonna do no good. It might be jamming too, but, you know, I talked about Future. I was like, I love Future. You know, I'm like, but he ignorant as hell, like the stuff he be saying. But I'm right there, you know, jamming to him. But I think music needs to have substance, you know, some kind. I mean, I think there's a time, like we said earlier, there's a time and for everything. Like, we're at the club, I ain't trying to hear nobody rapping no poems or about the look. I'm trying to hear the turn up, like pop the, you know, bring the bottles, you know, bring the bottles. Tell that woman, baby, you want another drink? I'll get you another one. We're taking shots. You know, so I think there's a time for everything. That's why, you know, again, I go back to your music. It's a variety. You know, you got your turn up music, you got your deep music. You know, I even mentioned to you, like, Omni Hotel was one of my favorite songs of yours, and you probably were like, you know, I don't know what you thought when I said that to you, or if you thought I was playing or lying.
It's crazy. And this is why Mark is such an amazing producer, right? Because the way that he formatted that song, it was kind of like 2 songs in one. It was very transitional. And I believe there's a sample in that one too. I think it might be like Webby or something. But he purposely like does things like when it comes to the tempo, when it comes to just anything, he was like, I know Houston's gonna like this because of these reasons. And you're not the only one that's told me that Omni Hotel is one of the favorites. But it just goes to show, like, he knows what the fuck he's doing.
Like, P.O. raising his hand.
Yeah, that's his favorite too. That's
Damn it. I'm gonna go pick me another one then. One that ain't nobody heard of. She ain't recorded yet. Yeah, that was my favorite. Whatever you recorded, whatever's the next song that you ain't put out, that's my favorite, okay? Nobody else can take that from me, so. No, but it's cool, because, I mean, when you make dope music, like, and you really listen to the music, right? Because I've always been the type where, like, I'll listen to a whole album, and sometimes my favorite song might be the last song on the album or towards the end type of thing, or something that's not the single.
Yeah.
And I would put my boys onto it. They're like, bro, like, I've listened to that album back and forward, and I never really paid attention to that song.
Yeah.
But when I played it or sent it to them, they were like, yo, this was a jam. I'm like, but that just shows that I really listen to music. I'm not just, I just listen to the 2 or 3 singles, and it's like, it's cool. But so I definitely can appreciate what you do. And for every artist that's out there, man, you know, some of you guys, my boy DFD, Baby Lee, just dropped the album. His interview just came out last week on Thursday. He had a very solid project. If you're into that street lyricism, but you know, someone that's rapping about the streets, but he's lyrical with it, that's definitely an album to check out. So I'm always, the whole Latino movement is just so dope. It's so many people that are actually doing music, and it's dope. You know, before it was kind of like, okay, we got 1 or 2. You know, now it's like a bunch of people that's doing. Do we have a dream collab?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
It's me. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Drake for sure. Drake is honestly one of like my inspirations as well, just because like him, we are both saddies and baddies.
Yeah. Man, it's funny you said it because I was just doing an interview. Shout out to Bombtastic in Canada. I did an interview with them over the phone. I wish I could fly out there. And they asked me, like, who would you, if you could trade places with somebody for 24 hours, who would it be? And at first I said 50 Cent because I'm a huge 50 Cent fan, like business-wise. Like I like the music too. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, you know what? I was like, 24 hours. I said, you know what? I probably. I said, you know what? I think Drake. I said, I can travel. Yeah. He seems to have like a fun life. You know, it's like he's traveling, partying, just always having a good time. Well, yeah, I think I could do that. I probably wouldn't sleep. I'd be traveling all over the world, partying, and then I'd go back to work Monday morning. You know. Nah, it's cool. What about you? You could trade places with that's a good question.
That's a really good question.
Anybody, you could trade places with anybody for 24 hours. Who would it be?
I don't think it'd be with a person. I think it'd be with my dog.
With your dog?
Yeah.
With your dog.
Just see what it's like.
I was trying not to laugh because I was looking at her and she was so serious. She was like, no, my dog. And I was just like,
She lives an interesting life.
Okay. Spanky. Like shout out to Spanky. What's your dog's name?
Her name is Sophia.
Sophia. And she has a real name. Okay. Does she have a middle name?
No.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, if she got a middle name, cut. We gotta interview her next. Yeah, I want to trade places with her, with Mom. What kind of dog is it?
She's a toy poodle.
A toy poodle. Okay. I think I've seen in videos or whatever. Shout out to Sophia.
She up next.
She up next artist on May's Sound. We just got this exclusive
section for the dogs.
Hey, who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out?
Right here, literally. That came in clutch. I know my editor. Shout out to Hardcore. He's gonna probably put "Who Let the Dogs Out" song on that part. But so funny. I love dogs, but I don't have time to take care of one. How do you find time to take care of one?
Yeah, it definitely started to become like, damn, I feel like a mom now. Like, cause she, especially her, like, she loves to play. She loves attention. She gives you a little attitude if you don't give her attention. She's a lot, but I don't know. I just make time.
Okay. So we could trade places for one day with someone or something. It's Sophia, the toy poodle. Okay, that's the exclusive we got. We got to clip that part and that's gonna have to be a reel on TikTok or something like that. Cause that's I never would have thought that. Not in a million years. I'm thinking. I don't know who I was thinking. Honestly, I was like, I'd love to hear this. No, it was Sophia, the toy poodle. Okay, yeah, I love that. So, where do we go from here? Not today. I mean, just in general.
Like, we go to the party.
Look, we about to go to this party. We about to go get lit. We was drinking beer earlier. It's 1:30, so that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it was cool. Shout out to On It Brewery podcast for the beer. It was called a Northwest IPA, right? It's really Northwest good. IPA. That was pretty good. Yeah, we're gonna take some shots or something. I don't know. You should do shots of beer. This is real beer, not the stuff that some people were drinking the other day. The zero alcohol.
It was still good. It still tasted good. Like it. It got me lit.
It got you lit. It got you lit. Nah. Okay, so what's next?
Well, I'm actually gonna be in Dallas on August 5th for the Latin Barbie tour with Miss Gold, with Carla, and Vibes.
Cool.
So that's going to be pretty
cool. I don't know the other two young ladies, but shout out to Miss Gold for real.
Yeah.
We're trying to get her on TDM Talk, so, maybe we can make that happen.
She's also a Pisces.
Ah, okay. What is that? When is that? What is that? Like, when is that, like, the birthday?
I think it starts, like, end of February to, like, March 16, 17, I want to say.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
I'm a Libra.
Oh, you're a Libra? No wonder. He's a Libra too.
When?
You're a Libra too? Oh, wow.
See? When is your birthday?
What is better?
All right,
December
then.
24th, 29th.
October 15th. OVO, baby.
Oh,
OVO, baby. No.
that's hilarious.
My son that's actually out here now, he's October 13th, 2 days before mine.
Oh, that's my dad's birthday.
Really?
October 13th. Yeah, he's also
October
a
is the best month. I'm sorry, everybody. It's the best. Well, I always say that here because it's like down here, it's the weather is probably the
better.
best
Yeah.
at that time. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's
Thanks.
you know, because it's summer pretty much 10 months out of the year here. It's hot.
It's hot as
Yeah,
fuck.
hot as fuck every day, all day. Even at night, you're like, man,
Yeah.
why am I sweating
Yeah.
as much? And I'm just sitting on the porch. You know, so Dallas is when?
Dallas is August 5th.
That's next week.
That's next week. And then, yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot more tours. I'm going to go on a college tour
Okay.
for back to school with Lola Brooke. So I'm really looking forward to that. That one's going to be on the East Coast.
On the East Coast.
Yes. It's going to be dope. Yeah.
That's good. When does that start?
I want to say like towards the end of August, early September maybe.
Okay. Yeah, because that's about the time school starts. Yeah, for most. I can't wait because my kids, ooh, Lord, they want to eat all day, every day. Shoot. And I got 4 of them.
Oh, wow.
But I'm excited about that. I ever since I started traveling myself to promote my brand, I've loved it. You know, it's just a different vibe and feeling, you know, that you get, especially when someone out of town is willing to whether interview you or work with you in some kind of way. It just shows that you have some kind of value.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
so that's always a plus. Shout out to my guys in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Pura Cultura. If you ever go that way, let me know. We'll get an interview with those guys out there too. They got a pretty big podcast out there. I think they cater more to like the Cali and the West, you know, which is cool. You know, I'm trying to get, there's Mexicans all over the country, so I'm trying to like expand wherever I can.
Yeah.
So Dallas is August 5th. Where's that going to be at?
At Punk Society.
Who?
Punk Society?
Punk Society?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I low-key want to go, man.
You should go.
That's next Saturday. I seen Channelise performing it. I mean, not performing, but she's been promoting
going.
it.
Yeah,
Is
with
she-
Miss Gold.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Channelise, TDM ambassador. I'm still waiting on, you know, the rest of the pictures with the shirts, you know. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. I might have to send this to her. And as far as the music.
Definitely going to be dropping as well, like around that time. So I'm going to be moving around.
So
and
really
stuff.
the rest of the year is just.
It's go. So this is probably like I mean, I'm already like getting busy now just being out here, but this is probably the most downtime as well.
Okay.
So it's definitely going to start picking up for sure.
Okay. Yeah, because we only have a couple of months left. I mean, we're pretty much in August already. August is what, tomorrow or like the next day or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we only got, you know, and then you take away Christmas and all that because Christmas is like, yeah, most people they shut down. I know Amazing Ike wants to work with you.
Oh, yeah.
That's
right.
I've been working with him on the. He played for me most of the album. He's dropping in December.
Nice.
For his birthday, so I know he wanted to do something. So shout out to Amazing Ike. He's really talented, and he's really a big fan, you know, of the music. And I think y'all would sound dope. I think y'all would sound really dope.
Yeah,
on
I
the track.
definitely like his style for sure.
So we'll try to set that up. In the future, where do you see Maze Sounds in the next 3 years?
I definitely see it taking off for sure, having more artists.
Okay.
You know, and just expanding and, you know, going on tours and things like that, you know.
Do you plan to scale back in the music and focus
Eventually.
more as like a, you know, the boss?
Eventually.
Role? Okay.
Eventually. Just because I've been doing it for so long. I've been doing a lot on my own for so long, too. I've kind of, like, learned how to do things on my own and stuff. And, you know, to be able to put that energy into another artist, you know, it's definitely something that I would want to do in the future.
Like some A&R type of work, like really just developing an artist and taking, I hear you.
Yeah.
I think you could, you definitely got it. So I know you can definitely do that. Any advice for anybody that's watching?
Any advice? Fuck them. Nah. Definitely.
That's what I be saying. Look, I look.
Nah, but dead ass. Fuck them. If you like doing something, whatever it is, believe in that shit. You have to believe in it before anybody else, you know, and you have to be consistent every single fucking day.
Yeah.
And don't stop.
I love that because with what I was doing, there was so many people around me at one time, right? And then it's like, now it's like,
it be like, you know, that. It's back to square one.
Yeah, and I'm really like, you know, and then I meet, you know, new people, you know, and it's like, okay, let's work together, and it's cool. But yeah, I just, you know, I remember somebody asked me, one of my homegirls, she was like, so what are you gonna do now that they're, shit, I'm gonna keep going.
Exactly.
Like, I think my words were, I'm gonna keep going. Fuck them. Like, if they don't want to be around, cool.
Exactly.
It's not gonna stop me. So, absolutely. Advice of the day: fuck them.
Fuck them.
Keep going. Do not stop. Keep pushing. Be consistent. All that. Work hard, man. Outwork. I always like to think that ain't too many people that outwork me. They're like, I have people that tell me all the time, bro, it seems like you're always up. You're always here. You're always there. I'm like, yeah, that's because I am.
Yeah.
I am putting in that work. That's why the brand is where it's at, you know, and it is going to continue to grow because I ain't going to stop working.
Absolutely.
And you can't get complacent.
You can't.
Because the minute you think you made it or you got it,
it's over.
It's over. You can't have that mentality.
Yeah.
Do we have any last minute shout outs?
Last minute shout outs will always be God first. God got me out of a lot of situations. So definitely him and my family. You know, shout out my team, May Sound, P, Mark Henry back home with his slides on, probably still asleep.
Damn, calling them out, exposing them. And Sophia,
my baby, I miss you. I heard you being bad, pooping in the house. What is you doing?
She waiting on you to get back.
Yeah.
See, I could trade places for 24 hours.
Yeah. And of course, all my supporters, to be honest, you know, this whole TikTok thing, like, I love it, you know, just being able to spread that message out, you know, in a much bigger way, you know, it's dope to see it. So definitely to them, because I couldn't have done this without them.
That's real. And I think we're in the same. Like, I'll always forever shout out the people that watch, the people that support, the people that buy shirts, that come to events, that share whatever, that go and like and even comment on our post and share it. Because sometimes I'll see stuff and they won't even tag me, but they'll share my stuff and I'm like, oh man, that's dope. And I'll go and, hey, thank you. And I make it my business to try to reply back to everybody and whatever. Of course, you have a much bigger fan base than mine, but I can, you know, I can get my 3 or 4 people in, like, hey, thank you, bro. You know, but it's without those people, we really wouldn't have the platform to do what we do, because it's like, well, who's really watching or who's really listening, you know? So I think they're definitely important. And like you said, God, I'm a firm believer in God and that everything happens for a reason. Like when you told me you were coming down, I was like, oh, we got it. And it's crazy because I was just getting the TDM talk back going. I told you, right? I was like, we haven't done it in a couple of months.
Yeah.
And I was shopping around, you know, trying to see what studio I can go to. And then I met, we were at AB Raps' listening party, and DFD Baby Lee was like, hey, I got someone I want to introduce you to, which was Gabriel.
Nice.
And he's like, he's got a studio, whatever. And, you know, we talked for a few minutes, exchanged numbers. I said, I'll come see you, bro, because I had already had something in talk with someone else. And a few other people were like, you know, come here, come there. You know, everybody was like, you know, trying to welcome me into their spot. I was like, yeah, we'll pick somewhere soon. But when I met with him, the vibes were just right. You know, everything was cool. We met like twice, actually. And both times we were here for a couple hours. So, you know what? I'm gonna do it here. We did 2 interviews was that last week? Last week? Yeah, that was just last. So we really just started. And I was like, yeah, I gotta make sure and get you before you take off again. Cause
I would, even if I did, I would still make time. The fuck?
Yeah, we definitely had to have done that. So this one's gonna be dope. This one's gonna be big, I think. I love and appreciate what you do, and you as a person. The utmost respect for everything, really. I hear it, I see it. You've been A1 with me since we met, and I just appreciate you for coming by and making time to be on my platform.
Got to.
Because you got people that watch you, and you got people that look up to you and that love you, that they respect you, and they wait for you to say something so that they can kind of like, okay, yeah, she's right. And I say that because I see it. When I'm in them comments, I'm just sitting there watching. I'm sitting there, watching you do your makeup and how everybody be, hey girl, and when you coming here, when you coming there. I'm like, man, the demand is getting there.
Yeah.
And it's dope to see, to be a part of that, just even from a viewership standpoint, So if there's anything that TDM can ever do to help, don't hesitate. I'm saying that on camera, so, and I've said it before off camera, and I'll say it again. If there's anything that we can do to help, man, just say the word.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, honestly.
Okay. Well, appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. You guys make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that. Hit that notification bell and share this episode, man. I guarantee that this story will help somebody that and you may even be going through something yourself. And believe me, go follow her on TikTok, because she talks to everybody. You say something, she'll respond back, and she tries to at least get to everybody. But man, go follow her on all social media platforms. We'll have all the links to her social medias in the description down below. Thank you guys for tuning in again, and we are Them Damn Mexicans.
Them Damn Mexicans.